Hello, how are you doing? How do you live with Seryoga? I started a familiar conversation with my friend Katya. Sariga and I broke up, Katya answered sadly. What? I was very surprised. We divorced. It's already been a month. Why? I felt for a chair and plopped down heavily on it, ready to listen to the incredible story of the end of a relationship that seemed absolutely ideal to everyone. Seryosha and Katyusha were considered among the entire group of friends to be an ideal couple. They dated for a year, then lived together for a year. They tested their feelings for strength. They were afraid that their everyday life would devour them after the wedding. And then they had a beautiful wedding. Everything was perfect. A couple of months after the wedding, the newlyweds purchased a car and housing. Everything was perfect. Their house became a gathering place for the entire large and friendly company. Katyusha, like a hospitable hostess, was always happy to have guests. She always did everything with ease. She could suddenly pack her suitcase and leave to Sibaikel, traveling almost 5,000 kilometers. Suddenly she decided that she wanted to see the northern lights with her own eyes. Contrary to traditions, it was she who invited Seryoga to marry, giving him a ring. It was funny and so cute. This story was remembered during every feast. Katyusha herself loved to retell it. So I decided that I needed to look for a person who could keep me at home like an anchor. And just then Seryoga started courting me. But he didn't dare to get married. So I invited him to get married myself. How he blushed and turned pale. Poor. Although he showed his character, he decided to live for a year without a stamp. Sergei became embarrassed. At that moment he sat and smiled tightly. He didn't like this story at all. But Katya attracted all the attention to herself. As always. After a year of marriage, a loudmouthed, persistent girl with her mother's character and father's appearance appeared in their family. The couple's divorce just 6 months after the birth of the child came as a surprise to everyone who knew the couple even a little. I must say, Katya and I haven't seen each other since the baby was born. For 6 months, then Katyusha was plump, cheerful and laughing. She was constantly joking. When I called, the door was opened by a pale, thin and haggard girl, whom I barely recognized as a friend. Come in, she said gloomily. Katyusha, how are you? Tell me, how could this even happen? Why didn't you write earlier when you could have changed something? What should I change? He left for another woman, Katya answered indifferently. What happened to you? You were so friendly. The perfect couple. Ideal couple? Exactly? Nobody knew how we lived at all. Katya grinned. But we only knew what you showed. Where is your daughter? Varya? At my parents'. He's been living there for a month now. Mom wanted to pick me up too. But I can't go to them. They pity me. But I don't need pity. Tell me. I sighed and sat down on the sofa. How did you get to the divorce? And Katya said that literally after the wedding, Seryoga began to go fishing and hunting, and she wanted parties, fun and movement. He always came back from his trips dirty, tired, with booty that he didn't even process himself. I'm very tired. Every weekend, fish, game, mushrooms, and there's a mountain of dirty clothes that I have to wash. First I washed it by hand, then by machine. Then I got tired of it all. And I started going to parties while he went about his business. He comes and makes a fuss about it. I once freaked out and threw him and his things onto the stairs. He went to spend the night with his grandmother, and I went to a club with my girlfriends, and in the morning no one grumbled at me or made scandals. And I liked it so much, I started kicking him out every weekend. As a result, I sent him away again, but he did not return. He didn't come home for a whole week. I started calling all my friends and looking for him. Nobody had it. And where did he go? At the woman's. It turns out that he had known her for a long time. She is his grandmother's neighbor and often saw him come to spend the night with his things. Do you regret it? Well, of course. While I was calling all the hospitals, he was already warming himself under her side. The bastard. Katya, don't be offended by me, but it's your own fault. I expected Katya to be offended, to scream and kick me out, but to my surprise, she just took a deep breath and said, I know. That's why I told you. I'm tired of everyone feeling sorry for me, tired of waiting for him. You didn't tell anyone the details? No, and don't tell anyone. I'll teach this bastard a lesson. He won't have any friends left. Why do you need it? So that life doesn't seem like honey to him. Did you come to me by car? Yes. Take me to one place. Where is your car? Did Sergei take her? I sold the car. He won't get anything in the divorce. I've already been taught how to leave him without pants. Katya rejoiced. We were driving around the city. Katya showed where to go. Katya asked to turn off the road onto a small alley and stop at an old, rickety house. What is it? I was taken aback when I saw an old, almost collapsed house. Come on, just keep your mouth shut, my friend commanded. Entering the house, I was horrified by the filth and unsanitary conditions that reigned here. Flies swarmed in a dense ball, and cockroaches scurried back and forth across the table. On the sofa against the wall, leaning against a pillow, sat a thin, disheveled old woman. Hello, I brought you a gift. Katya began to lay out the contents of the package on the sofa. Tea, coffee, cookies, cigarettes. Why did you bring your friend? I don't need extra eyes, the woman groaned. She won't tell anyone. Katya looked at me with such a look that a chill ran down my spine, and I nodded, saying, I will remain silent. Groaning, the old woman took out a deck of cards from somewhere behind the sofa and began laying them out, occasionally commenting on what she saw. He doesn't love her, he'll come back to you. And they don't even sleep with her just like that. It won't be a month before he returns. Wait, just don't do anything stupid. Fine, I will not. I'll come see you one of these days, Katya warned. As you wish. The old woman indifferently leaned back on the sofa, as if she had stopped noticing us. We silently went out and got into the car. What was it? The hair on my head was still moving after the terrible sight. This witch, she tells fortunes for me, tells how to get it back. If I don't return it, I'll damage him and his woman. For what? Haven't you tried to talk normally? No, I feel bad. Let him feel bad too. I will disgrace him on all social networks. Deciding not to participate in this nightmare, I took Katya home and left. And a little later I find out how my friend took revenge on her husband. It only took a couple of weeks for Katya to turn all her friends against her ex-husband. She did not give him a divorce for a long time. She took deferments. After the divorce, she left him without property. How she did it, I did not delve into. Only all these actions did not bring any results. Sergei did not return to her. Desperate, Katya rushed to the club. There she met a guy. He met him for 2 months and fell in love with him. And suddenly she found out that this guy was the ex-husband of the woman who sheltered Seryoga. Such a surprise. And Misha, that's his name, proposed to Katya before she found out whose ex he was. This is such a whirlwind life. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this story. If you liked it, please like and subscribe to our channel to be the first to hear about our next story.